Hey guys, how you doing? Big Bennis here. I get a lot of requests to do a beginner tutorial of some sort, and this is going to be part one of a few parts of my beginner tutorial for all you newer Entropians. Now, let me just first say that it's not going to cover the beginner area. It's not going to cover the missions as well. I kind of consider that spoilers. So what you're going to find in part one here is we're going to talk about the heads-up display, the HUD, movement, and we're going to talk briefly about missions. So let's go ahead, let's talk about the heads-up display. Heads-up display is your HUD. It's what you see here. It's the main chat, it's the mini-map down here, all your icons up here. Now when you first start Entropia, you're not going to have all these flashy icons up here and to the left, but I'm going to show you how to get them, which is no big problem. So first off, we're looking at Pig Bennis here. My tune in Entropia, obviously. Let's talk about movement. First off, if you take your middle mouse button and you hold it down, you'll see your cursor disappears, and if you click it once, you will go right behind your avatar. You can click and hold the mouse button, and you can move the mouse to look around your avatar. Now, movement in Entropia Universe is achieved by WASD, just pretty much basic gaming right there. Now, to turn and to face other directions, you can hold the right mouse button down and turn and move, just like that. So while holding the right mouse button down, you can walk around like that. Holding W down, and here we go. Now, we can also move around by clicking space, and this is what they say, or what they consider aim mode. And the same thing, you don't have to hold the right mouse button down, and you can run around just by moving your mouse around and holding WASD. So let's get our aim mode. We're going to click space again, and we're going to bring up the cursor here. We could jump by pressing E, just like that. And there you go. And that's how you get around in Entropia. For the most part, that's basic movement. Let's talk briefly about the HUD. The heads-up display. When you first log into Entropia, you're not going to have all these flashy icons, but you will have these blue icons over here, and these are very important. Your heads-up display can be moved around. We could put chat in the middle of the screen, not that we'd ever want to, but maybe you'd want it down here, or maybe you'd want it somewhere else. The beautiful thing about the heads-up display is that it's completely customizable. We can completely shrink my chat. We can make it very big if you're much of a chatter. And while we're talking about chat, we could click these icons here. If we don't want to see general chat, we could click off general chat. This slash means right now we're ignoring general chat. So let's see what happens when we go to the next button, which is trade chat, and ignore that. Well, all the people that we're talking are completely gone. So say if I wanted to write in general chat or trade chat, well, we go down to the speech bubbles and we click it. Let's go to general chat. Hit enter, type in what you want to say, and then hit enter again. I won't do it because there's a bunch of rubble, and if we're interested in getting something through trade chat, we'll click that button. To get back to the game, all you gotta do is just click anywhere else on the screen. Down to the bottom right, you'll see Pig Bennis Pig Haterade. There I am right there. Once we click my health bar, which is this down right here, my name will pop up above my head, also my rank and my society. To the left of my name right here, I've got an implant. Down below my name, we have my ped card balance, and to the right of that, we have the Rocktropia minimap, which is the minimap for the entire game. But currently, we're on Rocktropia. If we were on Planet Cyrene, it would say Planet Cyrene or Arcadia or wherever else. Also gives you the longitude and latitude of your position, as well as directions. That's what I'm trying to say. North, south, east, west, the little compass here. That's what I'm trying to say. Underneath that, we have little PvP lights. If that is orange or red, we are in a PvP zone. If the contaminated zone lights up, which is this little biohazard symbol, if that lights up red, that means you're in lootable PvP, and you probably want to be extremely careful. The little stoplight here, I guess you could say, it looks like a little traffic light basically. If that lights up orange, then vehicles are not allowed in that zone. You'll notice that when you arrive in Port Atlantis. And I've never seen this button light up, but it's there. And again, we could shrink it down to size, and we could make it larger. I have no need to do that right now, but let's go up here. We could start chat with someone. We could walk up to this gentleman, Johnny Wild, and we could click this chat, and it'll start up chat with him. We could click the tutorial button, and we will see all this information. This is very important, because if you have any if you need any help at all, this button will help you. Let's look at the ad terminal. It gives you little information, little pieces of information on different things within Entropia Universe. To the right of the tutorial button is the message center. This is basically your previous actions or auction actions or chats. It does help every once in a while in case if you close a private chat on someone, you could go up here and open it right back up. To the right of that we have the transfer center, which we'll talk about in another video. The Hall of Fame button, which will give you the current Hall of Fames for the day and also the all-time highs. To the right of that we have the Professions button, which will show you your skill amounts, and the skills, which will actually go in more detail about your skill amounts. Professional button will show you professional standings. So whenever anybody asks you, oh, what level miner are you? You could say, well, I'm a level 5 miner, or 50, or whatever you are. That's how you determine that. Your friends list button right here. In the friends list button, we have a green lightning bolt, which means that that current friend is online, and the red means that they are offline. The map, which can also be brought up by M, and I like to keep mine right above my mini-map for mining. We can extend that into a bigger area, and we can look at Rocktropia as a whole. We could shrink it down. Now if we hit it twice, it should go back to center on me, and we'll put it right back there. Our inventory. Inventory, the first one, money and deeds. If you own a house deed, any other deeds, Calypso land deeds, they will come up here in this area. Clothes, which is pretty self-explanatory. Armor, you can see I've got my stealth here, and we will go into talking about armor in another episode. Weapons, as you can tell, I've got a smaller weapon amp here and an Apollo, my weapons. My current tools that I'm using, materials that I may or may not have. Generally, a lot of hunting stuff goes up in here, and then your mined resources go right below it. Blueprints and blueprint books will go under that tab. Miscellaneous, as you can see, pretty much anything under the sun. You can see I've got small storage boxes in here, and within them, well, that one's empty. Let's try this one. But within them, I've got armor sets. So that's going to take a while to load up. There it goes. So underneath miscellaneous, we have Mind Force, which is my teleportation chips, the Mind Essence, and Neoprism Mind Force implants. Inventory can also be brought up by using the I button. The Action Library, which is important if you want to look at different animations that your avatar can do. We're going to skip the edit panel for now. We'll talk about that in a minute. The mouse help will bring up a little tutorial about using the mouse. The vote button is, I believe I dragged that out there, or that may actually become standard, I'm not sure. That helps during events to vote up the event manager or the event host. And give him some ranking for a good event. And then the current event list, which we'll go over in more detail in another episode. Let's go back to the edit panel, and this is where you can edit your HUD. So how do I get these other buttons up here? How do I do a little dance? How do I get that one up there? Or you could do a little heavy metal, or wobbling, little peace sign. Well, I bring them up there by going to the Action Library and dragging. We click the Afraid button, we'll drag that out. And we could place it anywhere. Maybe I want to put it here. And we just click him and oh, I'm scared. So, and that's how you get these different buttons over here, animation buttons. Now, if I wanted to, I can click my inventory, and I can pull out my, let's pull out my TP chip, even though I have it there. We could pull that out of my inventory, drop it on this main screen, and put it wherever we like. So, we put it there. Now, these are very sticky, meaning that if I put that there, I'm going to take the 3 right next to it with me when I pull it out. So oops, that didn't work quite well. Alright, so now I have to unstick that, I have to take the one to the right of it, pull it off, to unstick it. So let's get rid of this one because we don't need it. And we'll put that back. Put these guys back where they were. As you can see, I've got my ships out. I've got different tools. A recall all buttons, a recall all vehicles rather button, which helps, or which used to help in PvP. We'll get to that in another video. And different different buttons for my use. You can put your suit of armor out here to make it easily accessible to put on and off. We could just click this button. It'll take off my thigh guards or my chest piece. I prefer to do it manually, but it's up to you. And the keyboard mapping, which will show you your current setup for your quick keys. Anyway guys, that's all we're going to cover here in part 1. Thank you very much for watching, and part 2 will be out shortly.